Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're speaking directly to you, our ZRecon AI business solutions clients. You're looking at AI, really looking at it to, well, power pretty much everything, right? Customer service, productivity boosts, creating amazing content, running social media.
Yeah, the whole operation.
Exactly. So let's try and cut through some of the noise and look under the hood. What are the engines driving these AI agents?
That's the key question. You need clarity on the best AI approaches for your specific business goals without getting bogged down in, super technical jargon.
Right.
So our mission today really is to explore the main AI architectures, the blueprints, if you like. We're talking transformers, diffusion models, GANs, VAEs, and we'll give a quick nod to RNNs too.
Okay.
We'll break down what each is good for and, really importantly, point you towards the companies leading the charge with models built on these for actual business use cases.
Perfect. So foundation models, that's the term we hear a lot. What are they, basically, and how do these architectures fit in?
Okay, think of foundation models as these incredibly powerful kind of general purpose AI brains. They're trained on just vast amounts of data.
Huge amounts.
Yeah, massive, which means you can then fine-tune them, adapt them for lots of different specific tasks within your business. The architecture, that's the fundamental design, how it learns, how it processes information.
So the design dictates its strengths.
Exactly, what it's naturally good at.
Got it. Okay, let's start with the big one. Transformers. Feels like you're everywhere. What's the magic there for businesses?
Well, transformers are dominant right now, especially for language. And the reason is this thing called the self-attention mechanism.
Self-attention, okay.
Imagine a customer asks a really complex question, multiple parts, right? Older AI might lose track if the related bits are far apart in the text.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
But self-attention lets the transformer kind of look at all the words at once, weigh their importance, and see how they relate no matter how far apart they are.
Like seeing the whole picture instantly.
Pretty much. Plus, they can process chunks of information in parallel, which makes them way faster to train on all that data. Companies like OpenAI with GPT, Google with BERT, and Gemini, they're built on this.
Okay, so for one of our ZRecon clients, maybe they want a chat bot that really gets the nuances, understands context in a long chat, doesn't just spit out pre-written answers. Transformers are the way to go.
That's exactly it. That self-attention means that AI can hold the context of a whole conversation, much like a person would. OpenAI's GPT models, they're really leading and generating that human-like text for customer service, for content ideas.
Right.
And Google's work, first with BERT, now Gemini, that's huge too. It powers really sophisticated language understanding you can weave into productivity tools. Don't forget, Anthropic and Meta either, they're big players developing transformer models for business comms and workflows too.
Makes total sense. Okay, moving on. Diffusion models. Sounds painterly. Is it about creating images?
You're on the right track. Think of it like an artist learning in reverse. They start with a clear image, add noise, step by step, until it's just static.
Okay. Then
they learn to undo that whole process, start with random noise, and gradually, carefully refine it back into a sharp, high-quality image.
So it diffuses the noise away?
Kind of, yeah. That gradual refinement is the key. It allows them to generate these incredibly realistic, detailed visuals. Stability AI's Stable Diffusion, OpenAI's DALL-E. Those are the big names you hear.
Right, DALL-E. So if a ZRecon client needs, say, amazing original images for a social media blast or their website, something unique, not just stock photos, diffusion models are the answer.
Absolutely. You feed them a text prompt, like a futuristic cityscape at sunset in the style of Van Gogh, and they generate it. It offers huge creative freedom for marketing teams.
Wow. Okay. Less need for traditional photo shoots for some things, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. For certain types of visual content, it can be a game changer.
All right. Next up, GANs. Generative Adversarial Networks.
All right.
Adversarial sounds like a fight.
It kind of is. It's pretty clever, actually. Imagine you have two AIs. One's the generator. It tries to create fake stuff, like super realistic product photos that aren't real.
Okay, a forger.
Exactly. And the other AI is the discriminator, the detective. It tries to spot the fakes from the real deal. They're locked in this constant battle. The generator gets better at fooling the detective gets better at catching the fakes, and this whole process forces the generator to create extremely realistic outputs.
So the result is very convincing fakes, or just very realistic outputs.
Very realistic outputs. It could be images, but also potentially synthetic data. So how could a ZRecon client use that?
Good question. Marketing visuals again.
Definitely. Creating diverse product shots in different settings without needing a physical shoot. But also, think about data augmentation.
Augmentation,
Yeah.
like adding more data.
Yeah. If you don't have enough real-world data to train another AI system effectively, maybe for fraud detection or something, Jans can generate realistic artificial data to bulk up your training set. They can be a bit trickier to handle, but the potential for unique visuals or better training data is really significant.
Interesting. Okay, VAEs. Variational autoencoders. Sounds a bit more academic.
They are a bit more subtle. VAEs learn a compressed version of your data, but it's probabilistic. Instead of just making a direct copy or a single fixed code, they learn a sort of latent space, a map of possibilities where similar data points cluster together.
Latent space, like an underlying structure.
Yeah, think of it as learning the essence of something, like the general idea of cat photos, rather than just memorizing specific cat photos. This lets them generate new data that fits the learned pattern.
Okay, practical application for a ZRecon client. You mentioned anomaly detection before.
Exactly that. Because a VAE learns what normal looks like for your data, anything that falls way outside that learned pattern in the latent space gets flagged. Hey, this doesn't fit.
Like a weird transaction.
Precisely. A potentially fraudulent transaction, maybe a system glitch, an odd customer behavior pattern. They can also be used for more subtle personalization. You can kind of navigate that latent space to generate slightly different versions of content tailored for users.
Clever. Okay, last one on the main list. RNNs, recurrent neural networks. You said they have a history.
They do. They were super important, foundational, really, for sequential data. Anything where order matters time series, like sales data over months, or language where word order is key.
Right, sequence matter.
They have this kind of internal memory loop, letting them consider previous elements in the sequence. But, and it's a big but, for a lot of the complex language stuff our ZRecon clients care about now, understanding long customer chats, writing sophisticated marketing copy transformers, have largely taken over.
Why that?
They're just much, much better at handling those long-range dependencies. We talked about connecting ideas across longer stretches of text. RNNs can struggle with that longer context.
So for the AI agents focused on interaction, content, RNNs are kind of less relevant now.
For those cutting-edge applications, generally, yes. They're not gone, though. If a ZRecon client has a very specific need, maybe time series forecasting, predicting sales based purely on past numbers, or some niche sequential task where that super long context isn't vital, an RNN might still be a good, maybe more efficient choice. But for the advanced stuff, transformers are king.
Okay, this is really helpful for mapping the tech to the task. So let's recap for a ZRecon client. Priority 1.
Yeah.
Amazing human-like AI customer service. They need to look at solutions built on
Transformers, definitely. Companies like OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, Meta, their knack for understanding and generating nuanced language is just unparalleled right now for support.
Right. Boost team productivity summaries, drafts, reports.
Again, transformers are the go-to. That language mastery automates so many routine tasks. Look at models from Google, OpenAI integrated into productivity suites.
Makes sense. Freeing people up. Now, creating those eye-catching marketing campaigns, social media visuals.
That's where diffusion models really shine. Stability AI, OpenAI's DAL-E, they let you generate stunning, unique images from text prompts. Democratizes visual creation, really.
And maybe Jans for that extra photorealism or specific product shots.
Could be, yes. Jans offer that potential for hyper-realistic visuals. And remember, transformers can write the ad copy to go with those visuals. It's often a combination.
So it really sounds like for a ZRecon client, picking the right AI isn't just brand names. It's about understanding, okay, what's the architecture doing? Does its strength match my business problem?
That's a fantastic way to put it. Yes, you absolutely need to think about ease of use, cost, how it integrates, scalability, all that practical stuff matters. But knowing the fundamental capability of the architecture, what it's best at, guides you to the most powerful solution for customer service or productivity or marketing.
Looking ahead now, AI isn't standing still. What's coming next? New architectures, improvements. How might that impact our clients?
Oh, it's moving incredibly fast. One really mind-bending area is neural architecture search, or NAS. Basically, using AI to design better AI architectures. AI discovering new ways to build neural networks that might be more efficient or powerful than what humans have come up with.
Whoa, so AI designing AI.
Exactly. The AI agents you might use in, say, 5 years could be running on architectures we literally haven't conceived of yet.
That's something. So the agents ZRecon clients deploy could get fundamentally smarter, based on AI's own design work.
It's a real possibility. And even with the architectures we have, like transformers, they're constantly improving. Context windows are getting bigger, meaning they can handle even more information at once.
So they can understand even longer documents, more complex conversations.
Precisely. Leading to AI agents with better reasoning, better planning, tackling more sophisticated business tasks.
And what about handling different types of data? We live in a world of text, images, video, sound.
That's the trend towards multimodal AI. And the architectures are adapting. Transformers, born for text, are being successfully applied to images and other things.
Right.
And we're seeing new architectures designed from the ground up to fuse information from different sources, understand an image and its description together, for instance.
So AI agents will become more versatile, understanding the world more like we do.
That's the goal. More comprehensive understanding, leading to more intuitive and powerful business applications. Imagine an agent that can analyze sales reports, look at corresponding marketing images, and listen to customer feedback calls to give you a truly holistic picture.
Okay, that really paints a picture of the potential. This has been super valuable.
Yeah.
So the big takeaway for our ZRecon clients listening.
Yeah.
The effectiveness of your AI agents, whether for service productivity or marketing, really depends on matching the right underlying architecture and the right provider developing models on that architecture to your specific need.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Knowing if a transformer from, say, Anthropic is the best fit for your internal comms bot, or if a diffusion model from Stability AI is what you need for visual content, that knowledge is power. It lets you make smart investments.
And with things changing so fast, keeping an eye on these architectural shifts, not just the latest buzzwords, seems critical.
Absolutely essential. It's how you'll keep leveraging the most potent AI tools for your business as they emerge.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah, a good question to ponder is this. Thinking about your business, your specific operations, where could the unique strengths of these different architectures, the language power of transformers, the visual creativity of diffusion models, the realism of GANs, the pattern finding of VAEs, where could they make the biggest impact?
Right, which tasks are right for transformation.
Exactly. And then which of these leading companies we've talked about are pushing the boundaries in those specific areas that align with your goals? It's definitely an exciting time to explore how these foundational AI technologies can reshape how you operate.